Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, we're finally reviewing Justice League United, aka Justice League Canada, Volume 1, Justice League Canada. Written by Jeff Lemire and art by Mike McKone, which, when I picked this came out in like 2014, by the way. Or sorry, 2015, but I think it was published in like 2014, my bad. The book itself was published in 2015. So it's like a sequel to Justice League of America, because they keep referencing it. And how I went out to get this book was I saw it during the lockdown, where the comic book stores were closed, and I couldn't even go to the mall to like pick up books. I was browsing Google Play's bookstore, digital bookstore, and they had Justice League United, aka Justice League Canada, on there. It even has like a little like maple leaf on the D for Justice League United, and I'm like, oh my god! As a Canadian, I have to review this, but I didn't want to pay $15 for it because it didn't look like it would be good, and especially Jeff Lemire, who I think is a good writer. It's just that he's, the guy can be cringe sometimes, and which there is some cringy dialogue in this book. No, don't get me wrong. Ever cool? All the girl characters say, all the teenage girl characters say ever cool, which I've never heard of that slang before. And I keep up with the the new slang and stuff. At least I think so. And so I wasn't gonna pay full price for it, but I lucked out when I checked out my local dollar store. Which, for people don't know, the dollar stores around here, Dollarama, which is a big dollar store franchise chain of stores in Canada, started selling DC and Marvel trade paperbacks and graphic novels, and I was able to pick this up for $4. So it's like Destiny. I don't know if it was like Destiny or whatever, but like I lucked out and was able to pick this up for cheap. So the story so far is Stargirl and Animal Man are, which I forgot to mention, this is part of the New 52 DC universe. So you have like all the New 52 costumes. So there is some like convention in Toronto, some superhero convention in Toronto, where they meet Adam Strange, who is not a superhero at this point, who is like some Canadian professor. His girlfriend Alana Lewis, who is Canadian and not white, or Caucasian like she was in the comic books. Where in the old comic books, she was from Ron, the planet Ron, which is like, this technological planet run by nerds, right? Where Adam Strange was like a human who like got teleported there or whatever and became the protector of Ron because they're all pussies. Which I've never read any like Adam Strange. I've read books that have had Adam Strange in them. I've never read any Adam Strange books, but he's one of those characters where he's very interesting, but I've never gone around to picking up Adam Strange comic books, which at some point I will. He goes to Stargirl and Animal Man, tell him, hey, his girlfriend disappeared while they were investigating some weird skeletons in Moosonee, Canada, right, where they encounter aliens, hostile aliens, and a secret like laboratory, right? And other members of the JLA show up, like Green Arrow in his Ultimate Hawkeye ripoff costume, which I hate. I hate the New 52 Green Arrow costume, and Martian Manhunter, right? While that's going on, you're getting introduced to this, Native American girl called Miabin, who's being haunted by this weird monster that looks vaguely like the monster from another Jeff Lemire comic book, The Valiant, which was a Valiant Comics crossover, which we reviewed on this channel. So make sure to check out that review. Right? It's like it's called The Valiant, right? So yeah, it like that was very weird to me, especially since this came out. These comics were published in 2014, and The Valiant was also came out in 2015 as well. I mean, a year later, which that might have been published in 2014. I would have to check because I have the graphic novel, I have the trade paperback version of that, so that could have been published a year later. So yeah, that's very strange to me. So it's called the Witego, and every time Miabin says Kiwaden, she dons a costume and she has magic powers, and near the end of the book it's explained that she's part of this, she's part of the Cree Nations tribe, and they've been this group of superheroes for a long time fighting the Witegos, right, or whatever, which I assume have some connection to the Red, which not Red, the Black, aka the Rod, which is a thing from the New 52 universe, where basically if you have animal powers, it comes from the Red, which is the source of all the animal powers. If you have necromancer powers or whatever, it comes from the Black or the Rod, which is Animal Man's villains and Swamp Thing's villains in the New 52 books for them. Also, if you have plant-like powers, it's from the Green, which is where Swamp Thing gets his powers. Which I reviewed a Swamp Thing book, and I have the back during the New 52, I would pick up Animal Man books, and I picked up the first 25 issues. Was not a huge fan, but it was alright. Maybe I'll review it again, I don't know. So the main plot is basically our characters are the former Jail A, which aren't the Jail A anymore because there was something that happened where there was a villain uprising and there was bad PR and they had to shut down the Jail A. So yeah, they fight this monster that the alien scientists release, which can change shapes. It's a giant, and it can change its molecular structure to different elements. The first one it chose was fire, which obviously, if you know Martian Manhunter, he's super powerful, but one of his weaknesses is fire. So that's what you get for when you're a powerhouse and you have telepathic subterfuge powers. You have to have a really obvious weakness that anybody could have, which he was killed by a D-list villain back in Final Crisis because fire. Yeah, so it turns out the alien mad scientists were trying to create this thing called Ultra, which was a project hijacked from the Ronians, who were sick of all the alien intergalactic wars that's been going on. So they were going to make this ultimate super being that was created from all the DNA of all the known universes. So it would be this ultra creature would be intergalactic peacekeeper, even though isn't that what the Green Lanterns are for? But whatever, right? So it turns out Biff is from Thanagar, and he has shape-shifting powers. He hijacked the Ultra Project, kidnapped Alana and Lewis, and Lobo is working for him. And Lobo does not look as cool as he does in the old comic books, and he has shorter hair, a katana-like weapon, doesn't really use guns. One of the people they captured is Hawkman, and there's a bunch of cool fights with Hawkman and Lobo. Which Hawkman apparently has Wolverine style, like Wolverine style. What's it called? Healing factor. Which I read New 52 Hawkman books, which I don't know how many I have, but like, yeah, I don't remember him having a healing factor, right? So like the GLA gets transported by the Ronians. Also, Adam Strange finds his spacesuit and jetpack and ray gun from the scientist's bunker. So he helps the fight. They get transported to Ron by the scientists there. They capture the creature, and they explain everything to our heroes. They go after Biff. They have a fight. They have fights. Biff had already created the Ultra Child, which is a baby. Martian Manhunter is able to communicate to it, and basically after that becomes the adoptive father of the Ultra, and the Ultra is growing pretty fast. And near the end of the comic, he talks. While this shit's going on, one of our characters heroically sacrifices himself. Also, Supergirl shows up and is kind of a bitch, and it's kind of her fault that one of our superheroes died, which I'm kind of pissed off about that. And they also have the subplot where the Zeta beam screwed up Elena, Lewis, and Adam Strange, so now they can't be in the same place at once. So Adam Strange has to stay on Ren, and Lana Lewis becomes like a blue Adam Strange on Earth, right? So not a fan of that, because on the cover it makes you think that Adam Strange is going to be a member of the Justice League Canada, which he's the only, besides from the Native American chick, he's the only Canadian, which they made Adam Strange Canadian in this book, which I don't know if he was Canadian in the original book, in the original comics. It would be cool if he was, but I have no idea if he is. That would be cool. So after that, Supergirl and a bunch of other characters go on a hunt for Lobo, because they want to, mess him up for his role and everything. And also somebody was screwing around with Hawkman stuff, right? And after that, they established themselves. But before that, they established themselves as Justice League United, which is their base is in Canada. Hence why they're like a pseudo Justice League Canada. Why couldn't they just make a Justice League Canada for us Canadian comic book fans? Would have been nice, but whatever. Also, the Superman I don't know if he's Superman, whatever. This guy who looks like Superman from the Legion of Superheroes shows up, and he wants to kill Ultra, which Martian Manhunter is not a fan of that. So the book ends there, and you get some really decent variant cover galleries, including one cover where our superheroes are watching hockey, which the art was really shitty. There's one where Batman's on the cover, Batman's not even in the book. Also, there's a cover by Jeff Lemire, who's a really shitty comic artist, not gonna lie. I mean, it works when you're for your horror comics, but other than that, I don't know. Overall, I thought the book was enjoyable. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was actually pretty cool. My problem was some of the dialogue here and there was pretty cringe. And the fact that Martian Manhunter is cool with just letting people just join his Justice League. He just lets the Native American girl who nobody knows joins the team, and lets Alana Lewis, who just just because she has a jetpack and a ray gun doesn't mean that she's a superhero. But like, you know, like Martian Manhunter's like, fuck it, you could join the new team too. So I thought that was a little dumb. The art overall I thought was okay. Wasn't a fan of like, I don't know, like Adam Strange, like on the cover when he has his helmet on, looks kind of Asian. So does like Green Arrow, right? Which I thought that's a little weird. I don't know, maybe it's just the glasses. He kind of looks like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, actually. R.I.P. Chester. Yeah. Well, we miss you, guys. We miss you. Even though Linkin Park kind of sucked. You know, music sucked in the end. But, you know, you were still great, dude. You know. We love those old songs. So, if I were to give this a rating, it's, I would say it's like, 6.5 out of 10, which I know I've been giving a lot of 6.5s out of 10 recently. It's the thing where it's like, it's good, but it's not great. It's like, it rides that line between average and good, which a lot of the stuff I've been reviewing lately has been, which is not my fault. So yeah, if you're a fan of my comic book haul videos, I'm going to wait till like next weekend, because next weekend I gotta go pick up the Earth X book that I ordered from the comic book store, so might as well wait till then to, you know, do a comic book haul video. And my next comic book review is going to be, I know I said, like, you know, X-Men, Few Days to Future Past, or other shit, but you know, I've had that Inhumans omnibus for like months now. Like, I think since I started the channel, which was like 5 or 6 months ago, so I kind of want to read it at some point. So yeah, and it's like, you know, it's not like we get a lot of views on these things, so like, you know, we could take a little break from comic reviews. Nobody's gonna care too much, I guess. All right, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my stuff. And if you subscribe, you can request reviews for me to do. All right, that's how it works. And it doesn't have to just be comics, but it would be nice if we got, you know, some comic book, you know, requests, you know, review requests. Just keep it in like stuff that's like, you know, in print. So if it's out of print, there's not much I can do really. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Peace.